just to surrender it all to the Lord. Jesus understands that it's not easy. He had to surrender His will to die for me and to die for you. Was this easy for Jesus to do? No, He agonized in the garden. He prayed desperately. His sweat became as great drops of blood. He prayed the same prayer 3 times. Lord, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Let me just say something at this point. When God has a plan, any person will be foolish to try to fight God. You will lose. If God has a plan, and He does, and any person here tries to fight it, you will lose. Now the conclusion of the message. Last Tuesday, before I got ready to come to church, it was the last night of the revival. I did not know that it would be the last night of revival. None of us knew. And Brother and Sister Burgess were called away quickly. In the afternoon, before I got ready for church, the Lord come to me and He told me that my work here was finished. He said it was over, it was done. And He told me that I have to make a decision now and I cannot linger it. He confirmed it in the message Tuesday night. And the message was the doom of delay. I did not know what the preacher was going to preach about. And this is kind of something that God's been dealing with me about, but I've just been putting it off. Most of you that are here today, you know that a year ago, last month, I had told the church to pray with us, for I was planning on retiring. I'll be 65 not next month, in September. And I said, when a man gets 65, he should be able to retire. Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't ever want to retire and I don't ever want to quit. But God has let me know that He has another plan. And He has another plan for me and for my wife, and He has another plan for this church. And so this time I'm not crying wolf, it really is over. I've talked with the state overseer this week, and he has given me a little bit of instructions to get the procedure underway. It has already started. Let me just briefly tell you a little bit of what's going to happen. The overseer probably won't come in person, but he probably is going to send somebody. He might send the district overseer, somebody from the state office, and he's going to come to the church, and probably a handful of men, 4 or 5 men, need to represent you, and they need to compile a list of men that you want to take our place here, the new pastor. And what you would probably need to do is choice number 1, choice number 2, number 3, 4, probably about 5 people. And preference being number 1 and all the way down the line. Now just let me tell you a little bit about it. It can be somebody that's pastoring local, it can be somebody that's evangelizing, it can be somebody from another state or another town or from this home state. The requirements are they have to hold Church of God credentials in good standing. And what's going to happen, the overseer is going to come in or send somebody in, and you're going to take a preference vote. You should be praying now about your next pastor. The message next Sunday morning will be about your new pastor, and I don't want you to miss it because it's going to be a very crucial message for the future of this church. The next 2 sermons, Sunday mornings, will deal with the transition of the pastor here at the Chatsworth Church of God. And so what you will do, you will give a list to the overseer, and he has the right to appoint whomever he chooses to the pastor of this church. In the Church of God, that's the way it is. He chooses, but 90-something% of the time, He will let you choose the pastor. That's why He comes in and takes a preference vote. And the reason He holds the reign over you, He has a lot of wisdom. Should you choose a man that He feels is not in good standing or not qualified, then He could override your decision, and He could put choice number 2 in or somebody else. But He has the final say-so, but He's probably going to let you choose the pastor that you want. You may already have somebody in mind. I would ask you to make you a list. I've asked Charles, he didn't know anything about this, and nobody did here. I don't reckon my family did, but nobody else. I asked Charles if he would, the overseer wants a contact person, and it's going to be Charles. He's the clerk of the church. He will head up the 5-man committee or ever how many men you want to do so, and the overseer will work through them. He may come before I leave. I'm going to be here if God doesn't change it about 4 more Sundays. I have asked the Lord to give me a month of grace to tie some loose ends. There's some things that some of us have to talk about. But the Lord has let me know that I can't delay this decision any longer. I've got to decide now. I've been sick, not feeling good, and I think the Lord's going to give me a little rest. But I can't tell you. I think some of you know part of what is in me. There is no hurt feelings in me towards anybody here. I've said this several times, and I want to tell you again. This church has been better to me, far more so than I deserve. You are a very loving people. The gifts you gave to me last year when I was leaving, I cherish those. Don't give me any more going away gifts. You've already done that last year. But I cherish those. And the other gifts and things you've done for me, it has just been precious and dear to me. Today, I can be honest that God has given me a special grace and strength for this day. There is a part of me today that is dying. It really is. I am dying inside, and my wife is the same way. We are dying. Because we've been here 11 years, and God has helped us. We've made some good improvements. And the part of me that is dying is the part of you that's part of me. Because I know when I walk out those doors for the last time, and I think it will be the 3rd Sunday in August, if the Lord doesn't change that, then I know that it's over and it's finished, and it already is in the mind of God. And it's going to be history. It's going to be done. So don't get me any more gifts. If you want to eat lunch, we will. If you don't, that's fine. I want to say this. It is not anything related to any bad feelings here. It is just that God has come and told me there's something else He wants me to do. He's calling me away. When Elijah was called away, it was quick. When the church is called away in the rapture, it's going to be quick. And God has given me, I think He will, about 4 weeks to close this out. I need your prayers. As far as I know, I will never be a pastor again. As far as I know, and I really feel that's correct, I don't know tomorrow, my pastoring days are over. And they will be officially. Brandon, I told your Stacia that the month of August is a month of new beginnings. Now I'm still with him, but y'all let me know, okay? The month of August is new beginnings. I'll get into that in a different message. But God has been telling me, and I'm going back to the text and I'm closing. Really, God has been changing me for a year, I guess. I can't explain the mantle of a pastor except, and this is putting no guilt on anybody, a pastor, he carries a heavy load for the whole church, whomever comes. He feels that this is sheep that God has entrusted him with, and he feels the burden for every person that comes, especially the members. The pastor feels that burden. That burden has not left me altogether because I still love you. I'm concerned about you when you go through things, and that's just the love of a shepherd that God gives him grace for. But the Lord has been giving me one message, and He has told me He wants me to go preach it wherever He sends me. One message. There may be many different sermons. I've preached 1,000 or more different sermons. The Lord has given me one message, and He's been putting it in my heart. And He's come and told me I have to go, and I have to go now. The Lord is telling me to take the message of the cross wherever He sends me. Now, there's no need to fight God's plan. We lose. It will lose. You can't fight God and win. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to shed some tears. My wife is, and I hope one or two of you do. I really do. I hope one or two of you do. But this has been the hardest, I believe, the hardest decision. Eloise, would you come? Play. Take that mantle that my wife just rested. I do believe this